Hello and welcome to my channel Polyglot Reading. My name is David, and on this channel I usually talk about classics of the German, English, Italian, French or Yiddish literature. However, today I'm going to do a tag. It's Tag Tuesday, and I'm doing a tag that is called My Literary Family. And this is a tag that I came across in the Italian booktube community. I first saw it on Margheritas' channel Una Margherita tra le pagine, but I think the tag was originally created by Elena Monti. And this tag asks you to think of your favorite authors or the authors that have been formative for yourself as a reader and to present them like family members. And I think this is a beautiful and very inspiring game that also triggers some self-reflection about one's personal growth and development as a reader. So without further ado, let's start with my literary family. So my father is called Hermann Hesse, who taught me the liberating idea that you can develop your own worldview and your own spirituality regardless of the context in which you were raised and educated. And who taught me also that you can lovingly carry both your biological father and your literary or spiritual father in your heart, even if you have by now distanced yourself from their worldview, or if you think that you have grown out of them. My mother is called George Eliot, who told me many very instructive stories without ever being preachy, and who taught me to put myself in other people's shoes and to better understand their views, their fears, their desires, and thus also their motives and actions, and to judge them more leniently. My paternal grandfather is Russian. His name is Leo Tolstoi. It's a philanthropist who manages to understand almost everyone and to see a positive side to everybody, and who taught me not to try to do and to steer and to control everything, but sometimes to simply let fate take its course. My paternal grandmother is English, and her name is Jane Austen. I learned from Grandma Jane what it means to have a really subtle sense of humor, and she also taught me that irony can be a very effective weapon, especially for exposing dishonest motives and other human foibles, but that you should always use irony without hurting others too much, and that it's also very important to have a good dose of self-mockery, irony about yourself as well. My paternal grandfather is half Russian, half American. His name is Vladimir Nabokov. He told me to observe everything really carefully and to always read between the lines and not to shy away from also abstract and sometimes nerdy thought experiments. And he taught me that despite our common love for literature, also the physical world and nature around us is a worthy and fascinating object of study. My maternal grandmother is an Austrian noblewoman, Marie von Ebner-Eschenbach. She is a storyteller you can go home to anytime, just to relax and hear stories that are told with a lot of heartiness and warmth. I also know two of my great-grandfathers. Great-grandfather number one is an American. His pen name is Mark Twain, who taught me that you can look at everything also with humor, and even on the most serious things. And he also taught me that rules are there to be questioned and sometimes to be broken. Great-grandfather number two is a German great-grandfather. His name is Ernst Theodor Amadeus Hoffmann, E.T.A. Hoffmann. This is the great-grandfather you always like to visit in his somewhat ancient and charming study, who tells stories from from a long time ago, with a fascination for the fantastic, the fairy tales, the bizarre, and also for horror stories. And who set an example that you don't have to limit yourself to just one area of interest, but you can live out all your inclinations and talents, even if they are incomprehensible or nerdy to others. In my family, there's also a crazy aunt, like probably most families. My crazy aunt is Fanny Reventlow, who taught me that the origin is not important, but what you do with your life, that this is what really counts. And she also taught me that it's better never to blindly accept other people's values and opinions. And she taught me that even the black sheep in the family has always a very important role. Then there's another aunt, the type of the pious spinster. Her name is Annette von Droste-Hülshoff, who taught me that even people with whom we may not share a lifestyle and biography, with whom we have very little in common, they still can teach us very valuable things. And sometimes it's these people who have a talent to formulate things in an almost heavenly way that really sticks with you forever. Then there's this distant uncle from Italy, Dino Buzzati. No one in my family really knows anymore how exactly he's related to us, but he is present at all the family celebrations. And on the one hand, there's something fascinating and strange about him, but on the other hand, you always keep discovering some family resemblances. Sometimes he seems to look like great uncle Thomas Mann, and sometimes he looks like great uncle Franz Kafka. But there's still also this fascination of strangeness. It's a very peculiar mixture. And then there's the gruff father-in-law, Arno Schmidt, who taught me that a rough shell is often the result of wounds and disappointments, and that underneath this rough shell there can be so much humor and creativity and surprising perspectives on the world that it's really worth discovering these people in detail. And finally, there's the big brother, Walter Moers, the big brother who can write as wittily and originally as I would like to do, and who taught me not to envy those who can do more than me, but to just admire them in a friendly way. So that's it. That was my literary family. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comment whether you also know some of these authors and relate to them in a specific way. I would like to tag a few people, and this is Aaron Facer, and it's Pat from Book Chat with Pat. It's Heather from Heather Reads, and Hannah from Hannah's Box. I would love to learn your perspective and how you approach this tag. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope to see you next time. Take care, bye bye, and ciao.